All right, round two. Let's go. Oh, but first, I just want everyone to appreciate my freaking awesome signet ring I just got. We'll talk about it later, but I'm just super pumped about it. So first, well, actually, I guess I should like announce this. So, this is episode 2 of On the French Couch with C Money. So welcome, and I'll just talk about my week real quick. Try to make it faster than last time. So first, you know that like stereotype that in France there's always like people playing accordions and like wearing striped shirts and whatever the heck the hats are called, berets. Yeah, there we go. So we're walking across the Seine to do like an assignment, and we're on this bridge. Hold on, that's better. And there's just every stereotype possible. There's like a gypsy couple playing the accordion together. They're like both playing accordions, and just like every stereotype you could think of, like French people walking across, and just like everyone wearing exactly what you think they would. And like, I don't know, it was just such like a picturesque scene. And so all the girls that I was with were like, oh my gosh, is this like real life? Oh my gosh. Just then, when we turned the corner, like, no, there's no other way that I can describe it except for Pigeon Lord. There's this dude just chilling, like, just kind of like in a cubicle of like, I don't know, it was like probably a stairway down to get down to the river. He is literally just this dude, like with like a beard, chilling on the ground, covered in pigeons, and just pigeons everywhere all around him on like the side of the bridge. And I just like make eye contact with him, and he just kind of looks at me. I just kind of like keep walking because like don't want to get cursed by Pigeon Lord and get pooed on by a pigeon or something for the first time. I don't know, it was just insane. And so like as I'm like starting to laugh about that, all the girls see this like just beautiful like husky dog or something that was on the other side. They're looking at the other side, and they're freaking out about that. And suddenly one of them runs straight into a lamppost. Like, it's kind of like one of those moments when like you're playing with like a little kid or something, and like throw a pillow, they get knocked over, and you like, it's funny, but you also aren't sure if they're like hurt or what, so you don't know if to like to laugh or help them. So she just smacks into this pole, and all of us are just like, And then she just busted lip laughing. She was fine, but still, just like, I still have no idea, like to this day, of what Pigeon Lord was. And then later on, like this day was just the weirdest day. When we were getting lunch, we're all sitting there eating our lunch, and some like a really Orthodox Jew, like curls, big hat, and everything, keeps like kind of looking at me as I'm like sitting there eating my food, and I'm like looking at him back. And he comes over and like says in French and then in English, he's like, are you a Jew? And I was like, no, sorry, man. Like, I don't know how you respond to that. And so then he's just like, oh, okay. And then he just like walks down the street. And then everyone in the group was like, yeah, you could pass as a Jew. I was like, what the freak does that mean? So yeah, I guess I could pass as a Jew. It's awesome. Oh, and then next we went to the Orsay museum, and the security to get in there, it was ridiculous. My dad would have lost his mind because we're just waiting in line. There's like, I don't know how hard it is for them to just like make a line, but so the security people, they had this long line, and it was fine. Everyone was waiting in it. And then out of nowhere, some random security dude decides to open up another line, like, and take half of the people out of one line over to this other line. And whilst he's doing this, some other security guard, like, I guess no coordination, I don't know, opens up a line to that same line. And so there's like 4 different lines that start like interconnecting, and people, like new people come, but then there's the people who've been waiting for like an hour. And then like, so it's just the weirdest system, and like so many people are just so confused, and the security guards literally are just they kept opening and closing random new lines, like they just didn't want to like let it solve itself or something. And so we were just like being bounced around, like just all of us, all these people and people were losing their minds, like, this is just chaos, like just freaking out. And no one in my group noticed because we were all just like talking and everything. I was the only one like kind of like guiding us where we were going. But I was just like, honestly, like, how hard is it to make a line? And then, oh, later in the week, what most of my pictures are from Instagram is actually in Chartres, which is, yeah, like it's spelled Charters or something or whatever, Chartres, but it's pronounced Chart. So that's pretty sweet. And we spent a day there. Most beautiful cathedral everywhere. I mean, ever. Most beautiful cathedral ever. And it was just like an awesome time. And then there was like, they were practicing for some kind of concert there. And so that was super awesome to see. We like, after walking around for a while, after we went into the cathedral, they kicked everyone out. And then we got to like sit right outside and like listen to them practicing. It was so awesome. And then while we're sitting outside, like I noticed that there's like this kind of like furry black thing just chilling on the steps. And I kind of like kick it a little bit and I look a little bit closer and I'm like, that's a dead baby bat. It was just like a little puppy bat. I don't know what to call it. And so like kind of kick it a little bit and I see it and I just kind of like left it there. And then when like the girls came over, I was like, oh yeah, just like watch out for the dead bat. And they're like, what? And one of the girls was like, oh my gosh, it's so sad. And like goes over like almost to go and touch it. I was like, you don't touch the dead bat, you freak. And then she like gets super up close to it, like looking as if she was gonna like lick it or like smell it. Like I also would not breathe the dead bat air. Like, and she's just sitting there just like, it's so cute. So yeah, just like stand by to see if we get some kind of Ebola breakout over here because of that dumb dead bat. And then the next day we went to a flea market. That was like another assignment. It's also where I got the friggin' sick ring. But as we were on our way, it was just me and this other girl. And while we were on our way, randomly, just like we're like just kind of following kind of a crowd, just kind of like spaced out people. Just like one dude runs by, like purse in hand. I was like, I don't think that was a robbery. I don't know. And then like another dude with like a couple purses, another dude like carrying a bunch in hand. And then just suddenly there's just like 20 people, just like 20 dudes running, just arms full of purses. And so I don't know if I like witnessed some kind of mass purse robbery or just like, I don't know, or like 9 million old ladies just got their purses robbed or what. But I just had no idea what to do. I didn't want to like trip one of them or something, like just in case they had a right to have the purses. I don't know. And in the flea market, there was just like this random little stall. I felt bad for the old African dude who was just chilling there with like a bunch of like wood things. And he sees us and he was like, oh, I have a great price for you guys. 50% off on everything. And we're like, okay. Both of us are looking at all these random like wood sculptures. Like we have absolutely no use for these. And so he like, he brings us over and he's like, what do you like? I'll tell you the price. I was like, okay, so that's what this is going to be. It's just going to be a haggling place. And so the girl I was with, like, she was just over. She didn't like anything there because neither of us did. And she kind of starts to leave. And he saw me looking at one thing and he picks it up and he was like, I just bought this from Africa for 30 euros, but I'll give it to you for 20. And I was like, no. This random little African totem. And he picked it up upside down. It was like upside down. And he was like trying to explain what it was to me. And then I like flipped it back, like right side up for him. And I was like, I think that's the face. And he's like, yeah, the face with the turtle. And I was like, okay. And he's like, you know what, 10, because like we were kind of like starting to leave. And so I just told him in French, I was like, sadly, I only have 5 euros. And he was pumped on life. He was like, yeah, done, give 5 euros. And so I was just like, okay, whatever, fine. So I got this little African totem. I don't know if it's some kind of witch doctor magic or what, but kind of hoping it is. So just hope that I bought a sweet witch doctor artifact. And later that night we went to a awesome concert in the Saint Chapelle Cathedral, which was so bomb. If you had me on Snapchat, you saw that. Um, and afterward, we went to the weirdest combination of a restaurant ever. So it was like, because France has like fancy restaurants and everything, and then, but it was like this place tried to like fast food-size fancy restaurants or something, because they're like packing people in, and so it was like kind of a fancy atmosphere. Like on all the tables there was like rose petals across, or like random flower petals, but then it was like a plastic cover. It was just like nothing matched, and it was like kind of in a garden setting, but then like super packed together instead of being like more spread out like a fancy restaurant. And then like there was like the regular menu with like the fancy foods, and then they brought like kind of a slip that's in the menu. It was like 16 euros, and it was like the combo meal, like the fancy food combo meal, where you get like an appetizer and a regular thing, like the plate, and then a dessert. And so it was like the strangest combination of every kind of like restaurant. Because what fancy restaurant is like, oh yeah, you can try our like kids meal, like our combo meal. I don't know. It was just the strangest thing ever. And what else did we do? We got dressed up for that. That was pretty awesome. Oh, and then just this morning went to mass at St. Madeleine, and that was definitely an experience. Because never even been to mass in English, and so that's like in French. We're just sitting there, no idea what the freak is going on. 5 American Mormons in the middle of a mass in French. Sweet organ music, but then like just randomly like the priest would do something, everyone like either starts like kneeling or like just crossing themselves, and just all of us are like looking around, and then at one point there's like a meet and greet, I guess, in the middle of mass. If you didn't know that already, like just in the middle, people just kind of turn around and start saying hi to each other, give each other hugs, kiss each other. It was just, I don't know. And so like when that happens, all of us are just like, oh, start like turning to people like, yeah, what's up? Like, how's life? And what else? Yeah, it was just like the strangest experience, but it was awesome. I don't know, going to mass, it was just a hot 30 minutes, and I guess, I don't know, I tried understanding whatever the heck was going on, but it was cool, different way of doing things. But yeah, that was my week. And so totally, I really do like, if you have questions or like want to know more about a certain thing, or like want to hear more about certain types of things, just let me know, and I'll talk more about those things, because this is totally all for you guys. So until next week, you know. Oh yeah, so can't even remember what I was gonna say. Words. Yeah, well, okay, bye.